Hello everyone, welcome to Unit of Technical Analysis. We are again covering uh, WD Gann trading techniques. His book, or rather, a book by the name of The Law of Vibration, and it is WD Gann on the Law of Vibration. Now, this book is not actually written by WD Gann, but it is more of collections of his articles which are there on the law of vibration. So that's why it is called as WD Gann on law of vibration, right? So we had jotted down few of the points which are there, and we'll discuss one by one about these things. And we have also plotted these things on the chart on the basis of our understanding. We may be wrong on that part. So he says, first of all, in making my predictions, I use geometry and mathematics. And with that, he also says about Gann emblem, the circle part, the square, angle, pyramid, right? So this is something to more of do with mathematics, right? When a series of numbers is known to determine the next. So when this is been talked about, we remember about Fibonacci. So that's why we have used Fibonacci as a tool, right? The next thing that he says about on page number 7 is note the periodical recurrences of the rise and fall in stocks and commodities, right? So what we did is with the help of Fibonacci, right? We first of all identified the low and high, right? The low and the high, the low and the high, the low and the high, the low and the high of the bull cycle, right? Now after this, again, if you see and refer to his book Tunnel Through the Air, in that he specifically talks about cycles, future cycles, and where he says that okay, if we know and study the cycles, and if you know the correct starting point, you will get the correct end point, right? So if we consider the cycles which are there from low to high, because this was the starting point as stated by W.D. Gann, note the periodic recurrence of the rise and fall in stocks and commodities. So that's why we have taken the rise and then the fall. So if we consider the rise and fall, probably we are getting a starting point, right? And if we see this carefully, probably for the first cycle and the fourth cycle, we are getting this starting point at 0.236 when we have marked the low and the high of Fibonacci, right? So when we have marked the low and high of the Fibonacci in the first cycle, we are getting our reversal at 0.236. That is end of the bear cycle and start of the bull cycle. In the fourth cycle again, we are getting our low, that is from start of uh, the end of bull cycle to the entire bull cycle, and then the reversal. So this is the bear cycle. So this is again a start point for us. So again we are getting the start point at 0.236. This is the start point for next bull cycle, right? So over here in this cycle, which is there from 2012 to 2016, if we take the entire bull cycle and the reversal, that is the bear cycle. So the bear cycle we are getting exactly at 0.5, and same is there with the cycle for 2008 2012, right? So from these four bull and bear cycles, we come to know that okay, either the reversal, which is the starting point for us as per WD Khan, is coming either to 0.236 level or 0.5 level. So we'll start with this assumption as such. And he says that, okay, if we have the correct start point, we'll be having the correct end point also. So how to get this correct end point? This is in terms of Fibonacci extensions, 1.27 to 1.618. So we got this 1.618 over here, right? If we start with the second bull cycle, right? So this is a bull cycle, the reversal. So this is our start point. From this start point, we get end point of this cycle. So if we look on this extension, so this is the low, this is the high, and this is the reversal. So this is the start point 1, 1.272, and 1.618, which we have marked over here. So this is our end point, which is approximately nearer to that. If we consider the third cycle, low, high, then the reversal, this is our start point. Then from the start point, we go to level 1, 1.272, 1.618, and here it was the level 2, which was the end of the bull cycle if we consider this at this stage, right? We may be wrong in this consideration, but let's assume that, right? Apart from that, there were certain other points also which we have jotted down. Next, he talks about is the law of vibration enabled me to accurately determine the exact point to which stocks or commodities should rise and fall within a given time. Now, let's try to interpret it one by one. The law of vibration enabled me to accurately determine the exact point to which stocks or commodities should rise and fall. Right? Now, for example, rise, yes, again we are able to know. Fall, again we are able to know. I mean, this is more of a probability. For example, if you know that okay, this is the bull range, it would be coming either to 0.236 or 0.5. So this is the probability that we have tried to find out, right? And second thing he talks about is within a given time. Now, within a given time, we are not very much specific. Apart from one specific thing is this cycle is there from 2004 to 2008, 2008 to 2012, 2012 to 2016, 2016 to 2020, right? But again, the entire year is there for 12 months. So 12 months is a longer time period. We are not specifically telling that, okay, how we are able to get that details exact to the point, right? But yes, probably somewhere around to a nearby point, we are at least able to get a better probability, right? So in time, is what he talks about within a given time. So maybe probably we are very much right. We are not very accurate. So that's why we have just put across a question mark. But yes, in given time, yes, for the 4 year bull bear cycle together, we are at least able to get the details, not to the exact accurate point. This vibratory forces can only be known by the movements they generate on the stocks and their values in the market, right? So this is talking about movement that they generate and their values in the market. Now, this is maybe probably in general as such, we are not able to get an exact conclusion from this part. Next is everything in existence is based on exact proportion and perfect relationship, right? Now, maybe this may be a proportion which is there and a relationship which is there, but again, not quite. Maybe this may be there on the higher time frame which is there for the monthly, which you are talking about, right? It talks about exact proportion. So this is like one proportion, the reversal which is there is 50% is 0.236 proportion. This is 0.5 proportion. So this is 0.5 proportion. This is 0.236 in terms of the Fibonacci. So this is again talking in terms of proportion. Is existence is based on exact proportion and perfect relationship. So perfect relationship is like the proportion is there and the relationship is terms of maybe say the extension or the target which is there, either of them, whatever you consider as, right? Next, let's go to one more point. So probably we have added point from page number 8 which states the law which I have applied will not only give this long cycles of swing but the daily and even hourly movements of stocks. By knowing the exact vibration of each individual stock, I am able to determine at what point each will receive support and at what point the greatest resistance is to be met. Now, see, the most important thing for us knowing is only one important thing, where I'll be able to get my support, where I'll be able to get my resistance, so that we can accordingly trail our stop loss and make maximum profit from that. Simple as that, right? So from this, he's talking about daily and even hourly movement. So hourly would be a bit difficult, but let's try to go on the daily at least. So we'll move this chart from the monthly to the daily, right? So move that, right? Now, next thing is let's start from a low, right? For example, this is our low of 2020. So this is end of the bull cycle, bear cycle, beg your pardon, and this is start of the bull cycle, right? So we again had this. We'll use the same tool which is there, Fibonacci, because this has been in their book. And that's why this has been recommended. So we take the high, we take the low, right? Now here we'll do one thing. We'll just come down to the exact points. Now let's not try to go so much on the higher side. The coordinates. Let's try to get the coordinates. This is 9038.9. So 903838.9. And this comes to 75111.1. Right? So we have taken this exact points, and let's try to probably see if we are able to get some target or nearby to that part, right? So if we see probably yes, on a reversal we get a target. So this is just like the longer cycles that we saw, and probably this is also matching with the shorter cycles, right? So as we say, yes, probably for the bigger cycles, yes, we are getting those kind of results. And for the daily cycles, yes, again, we are getting those kind of results, right? But some more important things that we will probably like to see hourly movements. By knowing the exact vibration of each individual stock, I'm able to determine at what point each will receive support and at what point the greatest resistance is to be met. Right? Now, this is something very typical. Now, because in the bull and the bear cycle, we don't have anything specific that okay, the market would be only rising, right? So if this is probably this is probably uh, an uptrend. Let's see if we are able to get something more of in the same way for a downtrend also. So downtrend, how will we be able to know? So probably this is my first low and this is my second low. So I'll consider this low because this is lower than the previous low. So consider this low. And again, I draw the same thing, which is Fibonacci. So it comes down to that point. I may not be getting any exact accurate point, or let's do that thing. Let's try to get an accurate point. So this is my low, which comes down to 9043.95. 9043.95. And so this is my high. High comes to 89889.05. Right? So I got that. And probably the reversal again, I'm getting it at 1.272. 1.272 is 8814.08. And this is coming to 8806.75. So not bad, almost to the point which is there. And okay, fine. So we got one. So probably it works out in the upside, it works out on the downside also, right? So probably something we can determine more of like that. Okay, it works out in both way. So upwards it is working, downwards it is working, right? So this is okay, fine. But what's next? I mean, like how to calculate the further thing which is there. So for finding the further things, we'll do one more thing, probably much more easier, because if we need to go further, probably we need to just extend our what we say, extend our length as such. So let's try to do one thing, probably try to check if it's been happening as per this way or not. So I consider this as my low or probably my high, and I take my reversal again at 7511 level because this is the bottom. So I'll just try to change that 7511.1, and I'll take this high. So let me just check out what exactly this high is. 7889.05. Right. So I've taken this exact point. Only thing is I'll just try to differentiate this by putting the labels at the center. Right. So now I have the label at the center. Right. So by doing and putting this label at the center, what I get is, so the price which is there of the reversal, it is coming somewhere nearer to zero point 0.5 level. Okay, see if this level, if I consider, it is 8806, and my zero point 0.5 level is 8700. So yep, not bad. I mean, like if we are considering 9900 as my high, and if I consider a range which is from 7500 to 9000 levels, 9900 levels, so that is around 8000 is 500, 500 plus 1000, and again 800, 900 points. So having a bigger range of almost somewhere around 2500 points, 2400 points to be precise. In 2400, somewhere around a gap of 100 points is okay. I mean, like within a single digit percentage, not more than that, right? So this is okay. We can consider that part as such specifically within a given range of less than 2-3%. So that is the first part which is there. So we get again a new relationship is as we saw in terms of the previous part also. Yep. The first reversal is there, then an extension is there, then a reversal is there, uh, range reversal, and again extension. This will called as extension. So probably it is coming out to be a ratio again. So probably we can assume that the market again comes down to maybe somewhere around 50% level, right? So this is first part. Now one more interesting thing that I just found out from this part is if I consider in terms of time and price, right? So this is very critical. I'll request please do pay attention to this. Now what does this say? The law of vibration enabled me to accurately determine the exact point to which stocks or commodities should rise and fall within a given time, right? Now let's try to keep this given time a bit different, but what we try to understand is if I know about this cycle for uptrend and if I know about this cycle for downtrend, I can at least come to know that okay, probably this price should be coming somewhere around nearer to zero point 0.5, right? Because this is my first cycle of uptrend that we saw and my cycle of downtrend. Probably we also understand that cycle for downtrend also works in a similar way, right? So if we consider that, yes, my reversal may be again coming at zero point 0.5 and this can be probably a ratio or something like that. But one thing which is probably just pending in this part is within a given time, right? Now what exactly is it within a given time? So what we see over here is there we see as a relationship for price. So price from here to here is getting been halved, right? So can we have something like okay, price is also with this price, time is also having some kind of relationship over here. So let's try to find that. So for finding time relationship, we'll go to the date range. We'll start from the low, right? From the low till this part, maybe till this high, which is there. We're getting 23 bars, 37 days, right? So let's try to find out if we have some kind of relationship. And if we go till this bar, what we get is 11 bars, 18 days. So 11 bar is almost half of 23 bars, and 18 days is again half of 36 days, right? So probably over here we get a ratio that the price is getting or coming to half level and the time required is also half. Maybe for the uptrend cycle, it is taking, let's say, 23 bars, and for the reversal, it is taking 11 bars. So not bad enough. I mean, like this is within again 1 day plus minus is okay. 37 days, 18 days, probably a holiday, something like that. We can just consider for that. But yes, we are getting somewhere around a near probability, not 100% probability, but a near probability that okay, this is happening within a specific range as such specifically, right? So if this has been happening over here, this is again something called as squaring of time and price as per Gann's terminologies, which is there, right? So we saw a cycle, yes, in terms of Fibonacci, yes, we got a reversal, we got an extension, which is there, and we got a reversal. Again, it was in a similar format, range, reversal, and then coming back to that level. So probably didn't come down to 1.618 as such specifically, but here it did come down to another target which is 1.272, and this was almost nearer to the reversal of zero point 0.5, right? So that was in terms of price, but we caused something very important in terms of time also. That time was also being coming to 50%. For going up, it required X amount of time. For going down, it required half of the time for that, right? So this is what it is. Uh, this is one cycle. So probably let's try to see from some other law which is there and try to analyze if you are getting something like that. Yeah, before this, one more important thing is when I showed this to one of my friends, right? So he said that, okay, this is again something more like an Elliott wave. So what is an Elliott wave? He just explained it to me. And it is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we start with this one. So we have this swing high, right? So that goes as wave one. So this is my wave two, right? It goes, this is high, this is high. So I consider this high and this is low, right? And after that, it comes to number five, right? So here I had 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Now see, all the conditions have been fulfilled. First, the leg, that is wave 3 to 4, is not going below wave 2. That is the first part. Wave 1, wave 3 is above wave 1. Wave 5 is above wave 3, right? And we have one more thing which is there for the reversal, which is ABC. So we have this ABC Elliott correction wave, Elliott correction wave. So we start from here. We have this as our low, we have this as our high, and we have this C, right? So if we see carefully, probably we have an Elliott wave which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then A, B, C. So this probably can be a coincidence. We are not 100% sure, but maybe something again in terms of Elliott wave, which is there, because nowhere in W.D. Gann's book it has been considered or named as such about Elliott wave that is there. But yes, we got something similar to this, which is there. And we can also assume that the ratio for Elliott wave for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is the uptrend wave, and the reversal, this is the correction wave, can be a ratio of 1 is to 50. 1 is to 50 is like 1 is to zero point 0.5. Like the uptrend wave is 1, and then the correction wave which is there is half of that, probably just from this random one, right? So let's go to one more example. Let's try to find out one more low, which may be from the current one, exact one, which is there. So maybe this is our low. Let's try to find out over here if we are getting something similar in that way, right? So yep, this is my low. So I first of all do put down my Fibonacci before doing anything else. So this is my Fibonacci, right? So in this Fibonacci again, what I get is a low, a high, a reversal, and then it goes to above 1.272. So again, over here, if we see the same kind of pattern did happen, we got a gap up opening over here at the end. Over here also, it was like a similar thing. Yes, probably a gap up opening. So always ensure that, okay, if you get a gap up opening and if it is going up, go with the trend. And probably by the end of the day, try to close our trade. I'm not 100% sure, but just just probably making a wild guess. Yeah, it did come down after that. So we had a low, we had a high, and then from there a reversal and a target which went just above 1.272 up to 1.618. So it didn't complete the 1.618 level as such, right? So this was the first part. Yes, we'll also try to see the Elliott wave if possible, but before that, let's try to go for the correction wave also. So correction wave is, this is my high, this is my low, so I'll consider this as my low. And from here, I go for one more Fibonacci, right? So if we look in terms of the wave, Yes, probably I had a low, a high, a reversal. The reversal is again coming at 0.236. So here it was nearer to 0.5, 0.236, but yes, here it has been very accurate, came down exactly at 0.236, and from there it did reverse back. So again, some kind of maybe assumption which we think has been getting repeated. And with this, we also have the third Fibonacci which has been coming, so that we have that 50% reversal been happening on that. And that's why probably Gann had kept focus more of on this 50% reversals, right? This is a wild guess, as such, especially from my side. I may be wrong, but if you see overall, maybe from a perspective which is there, I'll go again for the exact points, right? So the exact point is 715,927.27 point 45, point 45, 18183.4, 183.4, right? So again, if we see the ratio which is there for this bigger Fibonacci, that is coming to 0.5 level. I'll just mark a small line over here so that we get that exact point. So this point is 555.43. So I'll just copy this and maybe just paste it across and probably just try to highlight it properly, right? So this is what we have. My level is 15,555 and my low is coming to 155.11.05. So not bad. Probably 40 points here and there is okay with, because we have a range which has been formed, or a reversal which is there for almost what, 400 odd points. So from 400 points, 40 points is like one 10% of that. So that much of error is okay. We can allow for that part which is there, right? So again, we saw a similar swing which is there, right? With this similar swing, one more important thing which I would just like to highlight: if I find out this high and the the low part of this one, right? If I just join these 2 points, I get something again which is coming back to 0.5. So again, we saw one ratio, we saw the second ratio, which is again coming in a similar way. Wow, amazing, right? So probably Gann has done much more detailed working, and probably we need to progress further and try to understand much more difficult things, right? Again, in terms of Elliott wave, if we see, try to join points. So this was my 0, this was my 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5. Why we have considered this is hardly some time period which is there. We'll see in terms of the price part also. Price, not the price part, but the time part. So we can consider this as 0, 1, A, B, and C. We have again one ABC, and the ABC is again coming to 0.5. Again, this can be a coincidence. We are not 100% sure because we have taken only 2 examples. Let's try to go for the price cycle. So date cycle is from this part to this part. It is coming to somewhere around 6 bar 10 days. So this should be approximately around what, 3 bars, 4 bars, and somewhere around 5 days. So let's see how it is there. So from here we have this low, and it comes down to 4 bars, 4 days. So 4 bar 4 days is okay around. We can probably go for that, which again comes down to almost half of that, and 10 4 is again mostly half of that. So somewhere around the relation has been working, right? So this is the first thing that we saw. And one more important thing, is about the cycles. So he says that okay, the cycles which have been formed, those are similar for the smaller cycles as well as the bigger cycles. So let's try to match this, whether this has been happening together for smaller cycles, bigger cycles. How are these smaller cycles formed? Because we need to again go for the daily part and check it more of into the daily candles. We won't be able to check it into the weekly or something to what, but only the daily part. No. One more thing before that, what we wanted to say is probably we saw that the reversal which is there after the ABC, the swing which is there after that, the reversal which is there, it again comes to zero point 0.5. So let's try to just backtest this before we go to any of the other details. So we had this ABC which is there, and for this ABC, we take this as the low and probably this as my high. So if I consider this as my low and high, yes, probably zero point 0.5 is the reversal which has been coming down to. So we had Elliott wave which has been done 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC, and from C we got an upswing which is above the high of 5, the previous high, and from there I got a reversal which is again coming to zero point 0.5. Simple as that, right? So that was one thing, and over here again the same thing, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC from this low to the high, and again the reversal coming to zero point 0.5. So probably these are some kind of cycles which are repeated every now and then. We are not again 100% sure, but this is just a probability because we have taken some of the cycles which are there. So maybe, right? What we would also like to test is on the bigger cycles whether we are getting some kind of similar Fibonacci's for the entire swing, and how would we be able to measure that within our perceived levels or perceived time. So what we do is we'll probably draw few more Fibonacci's. Is, let's say for example, this is my high, this is my low, so I get a reversal which is around at zero point 0.5. Wow, that I guess is also working on the smaller time frame. So this is daily. Previously we have considered the monthly part, and let's try to take this extension further if we are able to match something on the smaller time frame. So this should be somewhere around 2.618. So if I take 2.618, 2.618 is coming to 12,439, right? 12,439, and my high over here is for this candle 12,430. So my high is probably, we haven't taken the exact points, so let me check with the exact points. Probably we'll be able to increase the accuracy as such if possible. We'll try doing that. So my high over here is 8968.7. So we need to take 7. Probably just change of the numbers if possible. And the low over here has been 6825.8. 25.8. Right? So I've taken that. Let's see which is my 2.618 level over here. So my 2.618 level, it just changes to 12,435.9. So 12,435.9, and my high over here is 12,430.5. So just a difference of 5 points, good enough. I mean, I will say excellent rather, right? So this is the first year bull cycle that we tested on. Let's go to one more bull cycle, right? So this is my swing high, probably my low. Right now we won't be getting exactly the point to point part, but let's try to analyze. where are my targets going? Just hold on. So my target is coming to 9,006.78. So my high over here has been 9,008. 9,006, 9,008, 2 points. Wow. Bang on target, I guess. And here again, it has come down to almost zero point 0.5 level. So it has been matching even at daily levels. If we see, just as WD Gann has said over here, the law which I have applied will not only give this long cycles or swings, but the daily and even hourly movement of stocks. By knowing the exact vibration of each individual stock, I am able to determine at what point each will receive support and at what time the greatest resistance is to be met. So probably if we see over here, yes, we know about the support level and we also know the resistance level. So if we know that, okay, fine, this cycle and this cycle is matching, probably we should end or close the cycles over here, right? Let's quickly test few more cycles if possible, because this is just coming over here. So probably again try to test if we are able to get some results. So this is my high, swing high rather. From there I go for the swing low. So swing low, swing high. Again, it comes down to 6,200 level, and my high was again somewhere around nearer to those. Right. So cool, works out fine. And again on this cycle, probably let's try to check that also. So here is my high. So this high which has been considered, and from here I'll consider for a low with my Fibonacci one. Okay. So this is my high. Let's say this as my low at 1304 level. 1304 level, right? And probably I need to just change my levels, I guess, if not anything else. It goes to level 2. And this I have at level 2. The level 2 comes to 6165 and my high is 6345. So again, within a well purview which is there for the first cycle, for the second cycle, for the third cycle, and for the fourth cycle. If I check it for all the four cycles together, probably things have been happening in similar ways. So that's why probably Gann was been talking about those things and giving us a hints. And one of the important things that he gave is about using Fibonacci, where he says when a series of number is known to determine the next. So the next number is probably only been known in Fibonacci. In rest of the sequence, probably the numbers are in a different way, right? Here Fibonacci from the first two numbers we know, get to know the next numbers, and that's how the cycles are there. So fair enough, fine. We saw certain things which are there, maybe probably repetitions of cycles which probably we wanted to perform. And we again have seen one more important formula, squaring of time and price, which is there with Elliott. And this is again coming with one more thing, that is one of the cycles which is there mentioned in tunnel through the air also. We'll try to see that separately, but here, yes, I'll just like to say that this is one of the cycles which has been mentioned in tunnel through the air. So this is a bit different topic, so probably we'll try to study that differently, right? Uh, I'll just try to give you a hint for that. It is one of the cycles from the book, and this is called as Saint Mary. So how that has been done, probably we'll see in a different video, right? So at this time, we'll try to close this or maybe just summarize that. So we saw that, okay, the reversals which have been happening, these are again more of in terms of ratios. The ratios that Dr. Khan talks about is everything is existence is based on exact proportion and perfect relationship. So we see a perfect relationship over here, a perfect ratio which has been formed. The ratios are also there, the relationship is also there. So both the things are again coinciding over here, right? The law of vibration enabled me to accurately determine the exact point to which stocks or commodities should rise and fall within a given time. So this is within a given time. So we know about the time factor also now. So probably if we know this cycle is taking maybe say X number of days, then the reversal which is there, that should be taken approximately nearer to the half of the time period. I'll not say exactly the half time period, but nearby that, right? So this was first thing that we saw over here, and we kept on repeating that. Probably at one more place, we saw the same thing, right? So this was again taken from the low cycle, right? So we got this ABCD, one, I beg your pardon, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cycle, and the reversal again, which was there at 50% level. So quite matching as such, especially. And we also saw that, okay, from C level, if we go to a high and then come down later on, it is again coming to 0.5. And that's why 50% levels were being eminently told about by WB. Okay, guys, thank you so much. We'll close over here. Probably let's try to meet in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye. Take care.